In the classical epic, Mahabharata, classical epic of India, Mahabharata, the protagonist Yudhishthira was asked some questions by a celestial being called Yaksha. In Sanskrit or in Mahabharata, it is called Yaksha Prasna, the questions asked by Yaksha. And the 4 questions out of it, there are around, I think around 70 questions. The 4 questions out of which intrigued me, I would like to share with you. Question number 1, Kim nu hitva priyo bhavati? What is that if you renounce will make you adorable, make you lovable by everybody, everyone around you? The second question is, Kim nu hitva na shochati? What is that if you relinquish will take you out of grief, take you out of misery? And the third question, Kim nu hitva arthavan bhavati? What is that if you relinquish, you will get artha or you will get wealth, you will make you rich. Richness doesn't mean in terms of money. Richness can be spiritual richness or whatever according to, in that context. And the last question is that's the most interesting question. Kim nu hitva sukhi bhavetu? What is that if which you renounce will make you happy? Okay, so let us go one by one and examine how Yudhishthira answered these questions. Kim nu hitva priyo bhavati? What is that which if you renounce will make you adorable, lovable by everyone else? That was the question. And how Yudhishthira answered? Yudhishthira answered that manam hitva priyo bhavati. If you renounce your ego, if you renounce your pride, if you renounce your avarice, you will be loved by people around you. How true it is. The ego is actually people repellent. People can smell your ego. If anybody comes near you, they will be repelled because of your ego, because they feel that you are not approachable person because you have a horrible ego. You must have heard this sentence from others. Oh, that person has got an ego. I don't even want to talk to him. He shows off. So ego is a people repellent. So Yudhishthira rightly said that renounce your ego and you will be loved and adored by everybody around you. How true it is. And ego, as I always say, ego is the number 1 enemy of your happiness and will never keep you in the flow of happiness or dhara for a long time. Because the bigger the size of your ego, the bigger turbulence you have in your mind. Because you have to maintain your ego, you have to maintain your status, you have to maintain your stature. All kinds of things, unnecessary things will come into being. So once you take out the ego, you are into the flow of dhara, into the flow of happiness. And in the flow there is no resistance, everything flows both ways. So Yudhishthira's answer was absolutely, it has to be contemplated by us that manam hitva priyo bhavati. The second question Yaksha asked is Kim nu hitva na shochati? We all wanted to listen to this answer. The question is that what is that which if you renounce will take you out of sorrow, take you out of grief? See, if you want to be happy, automatically grief or sorrow is the opposite of happiness. So if you want to be happy, you have to take out the grief and sorrow from your life forever. So Yudhishthira's answer goes like this. Krodham hitva na shochati. That means if you take out your anger, renounce your anger once and for all, then you don't have to worry. Anger is the root cause of all the worries, all the bad things happening to you. One of the root causes is anger. So take out the anger from you completely, dissolve the anger. The opposite of anger, anger is a negative emotion actually. If you get stimuli from outside, you get angry, that's a negative emotion. And the positive emotion to anger, if you start accepting the situation which relate to the anger, the positive emotion corresponding to that is gratitude. You express gratitude to that particular situation or the particular person which makes you anger, done, you will be happy. At the same time, you should also tolerate, accept, tolerate, and forbearance is also one of the tools of getting out of anger. So anger, if you completely remove, you will be out of grief and sorrow. That is what Yudhishthira says. Third question, Kim nu hitva arthavan bhavati? What is that which if I renounce will make me rich, will make me wealthy? Here in Mahabharata context, you cannot say rich means wealth or money. Anything which can be rich. You can be rich spiritually, you can be rich in relationship, you can be rich in friendship, you can be rich in your career. Anything which comes in abundance is called rich. So that is the question. Kim nu hitva arthavan bhavati? And the answer here is that it's a bit paradoxical. The answer says, Kamam hitva arthavan bhavati. Kamam in Sanskrit, kama in Sanskrit means desire. So if you relinquish the desire or renounce the desire, richness flows into you. There is no harm in desiring things. There is no harm in desiring wealth. There is desiring money, desiring a good relationship, anything for that matter. Absolutely no harm in desire. The harm comes in when there is a vested interest in desire or when there is an unwanted desire. Like it says in Upanishad also, Magrida kasya siddhvanam. That means you should not ask for or should not desire for somebody's wealth or somebody's property. If you are desiring something at your own stature, at your own stand, it is absolutely fine. You can desire things. But what Yudhishthira says is that when he asks you to relinquish or renounce the desire, that means unwanted desire. The desire has to be perfectly aligned with the truth. That means perfectly aligned with the flow. It should be in the dhara. The desire has to be in the dhara. As I tell you always, in the dhara there is effortless flow both ways. So if you desire something in the dhara with your whole heart, without any ill feeling for anybody else or without any without expecting anything in return, your desire will be fulfilled. So Yudhishthira's answer is absolutely correct. You can desire, but make sure that your desire is focused and it is not hurting anybody else or it is not taking anything else from the nature, not stealing. You cannot steal anything with your desire. If your desire is not stealing, asteya in Sanskrit, then it comes to you automatically. So steya, that means stealing desire to steal somebody else's property, you desire to steal something from the nature without giving anything back, that is kama. That has to be relinquished or that has to be renounced completely. The fourth question, most important I would say, the question, Kim nu hitva sukhi bhavetu. What is that which if renounced makes you happy? Sukhi bhavetu, makes you pleasurable, makes you happy. That's what we all want, right? So the answer is like this. The answer says, Lobham hitva sukhi bhavetu. Lobham means greed. If you give up greed, you will be happy always. You know what is greed? Greed is actually you are desiring for something or you want something which you don't deserve. When you deserve something, you get it automatically, because once you are in the flow and if you deserve something, it flows back to you effortlessly once you are in the happiness flow of happiness or dhara. But if you don't deserve something but you still need it, if you see somebody, a neighbor of you buy a beautiful car, you feel that I want that. I want that car, period. So whatever you do, you steal or whatever you do, you want to get that thing done. That is greed. Or any action, the result of which is beyond your action is greed. So if you give up greed, you live happily because you don't expect anything much. And actually, if you do proper action, you don't have to expect anything in return. The result will flow to you. So there is absolutely no need of any greed, anything, I want this. The ego disappears there. So that is it. So if you give up your greed, you will be in the flow of happiness always. That is what Yudhishthira says. I really love this answer. In Bhagavad Gita, one of the holy scriptures of Hindus in India, Krishna, the embodiment of God, actually advises his disciple Arjuna. I really like this particular words which I want to share with you. Let me recite them in Sanskrit, then we will go into the meaning. Trividham naragasyedam dwaram nashanatmanaha kamakrodastadha moha tasmadedatrayam tejet. In this verse, Krishna says, there are 3 doors to hell. If you open any of these doors, you end up in hell, living hell. And these 3 doors are Kama, Krodha and Lobha. Desire, anger and greed. What we have seen just now, what Yudhishthira has told Yaksha, the same thing. I'll tell you an example. I have visited one of the prisons a few months back actually as part of our meditation program. And surprisingly I found that almost 90 to 95% of the inmates I have met has opened one of these 3 doors. Okay, some of them say that they are innocent and they have been wrongly convicted or whatever. But people who really admitted their crime, they have opened one of these 3 doors. Either they are too serious so that they get things which they don't deserve, stealing for example, or anger. They get into angry situation and they do things which out of anger, like murder or like fighting or like things like that, they do out of anger. They open the door to hell. And the third one is greed. People who are greedy, corruption is an example of being greedy. I want more than what I deserve. So that is greed. So all the people in the prison I have met, 95% of the people I have met in the prison have opened this door. So that is the living hell. You open the door of the prison, you yourself open the door of the hell and go inside there. Whom are you to blame? You cannot blame anybody else. It is you who are doing. So this Krishna's advice is really amazing. That's please don't open the door of the hell. There are 3 doors: Kama, Krodha and Lobha. Desire, anger and greed. So one of the tools, I would say one of the main tools to stay away from these doors of hell is meditation. Through meditation you can tame your mind. You can make your mind understand that you don't need these undesired things. So meditation is very important tool to tame your mind and to live in the happy and the state of flow. Meditation will definitely take you to the flow. Meditation together with contemplation of the slokas, these advices will definitely take you to the flow of happiness.